I'll say it. Fuck you, Chris Brown. I'll take
and
that.
I gotta say, yo, no, but for real.
What's going on? This is Ben from Real Ones. We're outside the Golden Dagger after the DefPrez album release show. Here with opener Jay Bambii, one of the coldest MCs in Chicago. If you know, you know, and if you don't know, you got some work to do, but now you know.
You will know.
It's rare to find a song of yours on traditional streaming services. You know, you're very much about like getting fairly compensated for the art you make.
Part of my reason that a lot of my music is not on streaming sites is because the beats aren't mine. That has put a restriction on where I can share because I just don't feel like dealing with that cease and desist shit. Some people want to play that game. They want to Russian roulette it. There's so many songs, or has been times where I'm like on Spotify or songs in the playlist, or I like the song and I'm trying to play it and that shit disappears. I even believe that one time Jamila Woods had that situation with a beat that she had with Heaven. I think Heaven, she had to make a reprise version. I'm assuming she couldn't get clearance on the beat because she had to take it off streaming sites and then she had to put it back on. It was such a beautiful song, but I don't want to run the risk of like taking it off and like having to create a new relationship with a song. Like one thing I loved is that SoundCloud culture. Like so when I dropped my first tape, it was on SoundCloud. Spotify and SoundCloud are great places. Spotify is what I use, but SoundCloud is also a great place because that's where you can put all the shit that you can experiment with, you can examine where you'll go with that shit. It's also like where all the super secret underground jams are. There's so many Frank Ocean, SZA, Kali Uchis, so many.
Like
just,
if you really have to dig, you'll find.
If you really dig, or even like Ari Lennox or like K-Tronada got hella mixes and stuff like. So it's like so many different things I love about SoundCloud. So when I dropped that, it was on SoundCloud because that was what was popping. That's when niggas was really, like, I really fucked with that place. Bandcamp is great, but it's not something I use often. I respect the fact that you financially get compensated for it, but it's like, I wanted to be somewhere where I knew niggas would, you know, be able to listen to it. Because so many people do ask about my music, but I tell them, like, it ain't my beat, and I have to really fuck with a beat. Like, I really gotta fuck with a sound. I damn near gotta be obsessed with it. A lot of my songs that I put on my tape or, like, make music of, that shit is, like, my top 3, 4, 5 songs on the Spotify rap. That beat is played hundreds of times. So once I have a connection with it, like Jay Dilla, you know what I'm saying, D'Angelo, I gotta ride with it. Right now, those things are about to change.
Oh, okay. So we'll get into that in a bit. But so we're at the DefPrez release show tonight. You know, when did you first meet Michael and then Adam as well?
I met CRASHprez, aka Michael, probably around the same time I did meet Defcee. Defcee and me worked together. So first I was volunteering for a nonprofit that we worked in. Adam was a teaching artist. I, at that point, was the youngest teaching artist in this cohort. At that point, me and Adam were able to be around each other more. I started, you know, working at the open mics. I started hosting the open mics. I started doing all these different things. Defcee did a rap workshop. Defcee was like, you should come, you're really talented. He knew that I had the potential to make music. He knew I had a cold pen game. He knew that my art and my work was really important. I always was in that rap bag. I always talk about that. Like, I was always in that rap bag. I just used to get on YouTube and play Jasmine Sullivan and like Music Soul Child beats behind my beat. So like the vision was there, the blueprint was there, but like I couldn't navigate how to get the beat and verse and the words in the pocket because I was so used to being a poet. Adam helped me come into that world of switching from being in stanzas into bars. Me and CRASHprez, that's my G. Like, that's my FaceTime buddy. That's my Aquarius buddy. We can talk all the time about so many things.
Great.
Adam is like a mentor to me, so there's like a certain level in relationship we have. I know if it was something I really needed, I could call him. Me and Crash like talk all the time. We go to parties, we hang out together. So like me and Crash have a really good relationship too.
That's amazing.
That time back then, like when a lot of the people you see now doing what they doing on the different grand scales they're doing it on, a lot of them were coupled. There was so many different rap posses, groups. I was a part of a rap posse for a very slight second with other amazing, wonderful black women rappers. It felt like a flash in the pan, but like so many collaborative team-based things have really popped off some of your favorite artists. Like some of them started off as a collective, as a group, or was with different niggas, with different people from different cities and states, and then, you know, people branch off or they, you know, do their own thing, or they stay together. You see with Pivot Gang, like, teamwork, family, community really helps cultivate artists.
Do you feel like Chicago is less collaborative than it used to be?
I don't think Chicago's less collaborative. I think all of us as a whole are less collaborative. You know, the pandemic and a lot of things prior to that, I mean, we always make jokes and memes about 2016, Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's always different things that we make jokes about that have had an effect on us. And I think a lot of people right now are less collaborative in the ways of, yeah, I like your music, but maybe we don't need to make a song together.
Yeah.
You know, like, we're just not making songs for the sake of making songs. Like, I love the Touch It remix with Busta Rhymes and Mary J. Blige, but we're not gonna act like it's giving groundbreaking, lyrical, like, it's not giving, like, Busta Rhymes went crazy, you feel me? But Mary J. Blige is on here, and it's great, but it's also like an inside joke to us, like, what is Mary J. Blige doing on here? Like, you know, like, I just think people are being more intentional about getting with people, you know, even on the political level, like, not working with people because they raw, but you know they're abusers. They're colorists. You know that they don't respect dark-skinned people, women, queer people, trans people, single mothers, like people who don't have homes. Their little outlook on life conflicts with yours. So I think that, like, that collaborative energy is becoming more personal. One of my things that I love hearing is, like, the personal is political. Everything you do is political, even on some level, like what you watch, what you eat, who you hang out with, et cetera, et cetera. So, like, that just seems to be something that means more to people now, which means that people will be more careful and thorough and appreciative of the people they connecting with. And it's just not for just clout or, you know, like when certain artists work with Chris Brown. It's like, gee, like, and I don't want to say too much because, you know, he be mean to dark-skinned girls, so I don't need none of that.
I'll say it. Fuck you, Chris Brown. I'll take
and
that.
I gotta say, yo, no, but for real, I really believe that, like, that type of shit be happening where, like, people want to work with certain artists because it looks quote unquote good or they have a large fan base. It's like, damn, it's so many talented people in Chicago that I've met personally who don't have big followings on Instagram, that aren't active on social media, and they're just as talented. So yeah, niggas don't think about that. I know y'all ain't asked me, but an advice, like, sharpen your iron amongst other good artists. Don't ever think that your pen is never too good to be, you know, sparred or, you know, challenged or pushed. I listen to Baby Mother. I listen to different even art from back then. Missy Elliott, she makes me sharpen my pen. D'Angelo makes me sharpen my pen. You know, there's people who really make me be like, I can go deeper, I can go harder, I can be more vulnerable. And, like, that's what we had when we was growing. So, like, I really feel like that really benefited a lot of us. You feel me?
It's wild you say Baby Mother too, because we actually talked to her down at South.
She's amazing. I love her. One of her verses, the verse on Lately, yo, Lately is a verse that makes me be like, you can always get grittier, you can always go there. Yo, Rachel McKibbins is a poet, and, you know, I think about how I started off in poetry, and Rachel McKibbins told me a long time ago, make sure your poems have teeth. And I think about how, like, rap is so easily forgotten when there's no substance and when there's no, like, connection, and so easy. That's why people are like, what's the next song? What's the next thing? Because you're not willing to really sit with it. It ain't really filling you up, you know? She always just reminded me, make sure that, like, your poems, your raps, your words leave teeth marks, makes people remember you.
That's the teeth.
Hold it in there. Yeah. Lock in on people. Lock in.
On the topic of Baby Mother, she's worked a lot with Pink Sifu, and then, so you helped put together this Chicago show that they did with Be Kool-Aid. Bonita Appleblunt was part of all of that. But, I mean, shit, how was that experience for you?
I really love that group of people. I love curating, and, you know, the homies trusted me, and they were like, we want to see you do this, and we want to have you do it. I love being an artist, but I also love being the force and the foundation for artists to really thrive. Like, I love seeing other artists get paid properly. I love making sure people eat, making sure people are well hydrated, making sure people get good sound, good vibes. I'm a Sagittarius with a Taurus rising and a Libra moon. Some of that don't mean shit to none of y'all, but for some people, you know that that's a good time. I care about good, comfortable things. I care about being comfortable. I care about being cozy. I care about being full, fed, and happy. People think curating is just like getting a whole bunch of people in the room and taking their money. You have to make sure that when you're taking people's money, that those people know that their money went to something not only beneficial to them, but to benefit the people who are a part of the show. Like, it's going to a cause. Even if the cause is to make sure you have a good time, prove to them that that's what you're doing. And that's why, you know, putting the substance of these shows in the right hands is important. So I'm glad that they trusted me. Like, we're going to do something else soon. I'm trying to do some more things in New York. I'm trying to do some things in LA. I'm working on expanding and expounding and, like, not being held back. You know, we all we'll die soon. Like, our lives are not completely on run for the rest of forever. So I want to just exist as fully as possible. Curating is a part of that, like making sure the artists are being treated properly and appropriately, and make sure ain't nobody getting finessed.
That's a powerful thing. I'm excited to see more of the shows that you have your hands in and you're developing. Just wanted to give you the floor. Anything else you'd like to add?
New music is coming soon. A new album is coming out this year. I'm really excited. I will not be sharing the name yet, but you probably, if you was here at the set, you probably got an idea what the name is. You probably heard. Thank y'all so much. Definitely make sure you out here supporting the artists that you don't get to see all the time, because music is timeless. You know, even if you late to the game, it's cool. Just make sure you just out here supporting people and expanding your horizons and knowing that there's just always more. More to find, there's always more to see, there's always more to hear and experience. And yeah, like, believe black women. Black women out here running this shit. Black women out here taking care of shit. People are mad that black women are realizing, like, this shit is a farce. And, like, we not playing no more. Like, shout out to my girl Megan Thee Stallion. Shout out to so many black women who have really defied the odds of the system. Even when you're so prized and so precious and everybody thinks you're Miss America, Miss Universe, people will still find a way to tear you down. So it's like, just stay strong out here, black women. I love y'all. I do this for us. I do this for everybody to make sure you know that if you ain't free, ain't none of us free.